Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Spoil the Podcast with Salad Brain. My name is John Boy.
I am Party Bear.
I'm Earthworm.
I'm Dak.
And we're here to talk about a beloved film. Let's be honest. Beloved film from 2002. Spy Kids 2.
Spy Kids 2.
Island of Lost Dreams. Okay.
Classic.
Opened in 2002. Hour and 40 minutes long, my opinion. A little too long.
I was expecting shorter, I would say.
I was surprised to hear it
I was
for an hour
thinking,
and 30.
I was thinking maybe hour 25.
Max. With credits.
And the credits were long.
The credits were very long.
There was actually a credit scene.
Yeah.
End credits.
And
Yeah.
They teased the third one.
Yeah.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Well, yeah, we're teasing. We'll get there.
Out of $38 million, you can tell that this movie was made for. It made $120 million.
Wow. I remember it. Okay.
Well,
just
no
right
wonder
off the-
they made a bunch more.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, I loved this film when I was a kid.
yes.
I loved
Loved
it when
it.
I was a kid. Rewatching it, I definitely didn't feel the same until there was a point I had to get high, and then I did enjoy it again. It was
See,
great.
Big surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Well, so I guess right off the bat, if you want to enjoy this film
You should
As an
probably,
adult.
Yeah.
as an adult,
You definitely cannot be sober if you watch this. I won't be if I ever watch it again, which I don't think I will.
you don't have to if you listen to this.
Let's see. The studio, Troublemaker Studios. That we'll just get right to the director, Robert Rodriguez. He's actually a very well. He just did Alita: Battle Angel.
Yeah. He's
Same
still
guy who did that.
doing things.
He's still doing stuff. And I just want to start this off with a little thought I had. Watching the film. I think this movie is a joke.
In what way?
Because-
In what way?
Because there's no way in someone's right mind that they would make this. And Robert Rodriguez edited it, produced it, directed it. He might have shot it. I know he was the visual effects supervisor. There's no way he was watching that in 2001 before it was released. He was like, "This is perfect. It's got to be a joke. It's got to be a joke." There's no way. I'm not gonna stand by the fact that this was a real movie. I can't do it. This was a joke film.
So I guess I'm on the opposite. I don't know if I've heard Party Bear's thoughts on the film, but I will say I think I may be the only one that thought, wasn't that bad. Was kind of good in some ways.
No.
It had entertaining parts.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
John Boy is shaking his head right now in disgust, and I'm fine with that. I will live by that. I will not say it's worth your time, but I will say Robert Rodriguez had a vision, and I think he created that vision. Whether or not it was a joke, up for debate. But I do think I haven't really seen movies quite like this besides his. We can say that, John Boy.
It's fucking horrible. Man. This shit was shot in a big warehouse. The whole thing was. I like his movies. When I was in high school. I went to a film camp and they showed El Mariachi, which was a movie he made for literally like $100 or pesos. Okay, and he made it. It was amazing. Then he made the El Mariachi trilogy, which was incredible. I haven't seen Alita: A Battle Angel. I haven't seen
Alita: A Body Angel.
Now that's a movie I'd watch.
Alita, a body angel.
I haven't seen Alita: Battle Angel, but I heard it's really good. And I know he worked with Tarantino a lot, so he has the connections. And this is 2002, right? So it's like maybe.
Let's talk about it in the prequels. Where does it sit in the prequels?
Oh, this is the year of Attack of the Clones.
No, Attack of the Clones is 2003.
2003.
Yeah.
Well, I know 1999
Yep.
and
Oh.
2 years later.
Oh, was it every 2 years?
Oh,
Because
it was
2000,
three.
2005.
We're 2 years. We're in the 2 year.
Yes.
We're in the 2 year gap now. That's right.
Anyways,
Yeah. Anyways, so we're pre Attack of the Clones.
but we can honestly say that Phantom Menace played a very large role in this film. It feels like it is shot exactly like Phantom Menace. Mm-hmm. And it has maybe a little bit of better acting than Phantom Menace sometimes.
Has acting.
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi. Gotta throw it way ahead, you know.
I mean,
He's in it.
It's not his best role.
He gave it his all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the rankings, Banderas, number 1.
Oh, absolutely. I
By
love him.
far.
He was great. He's my favorite character.
Hey, he's Puss in Boots. We're
Yes.
going to go back to Shrek.
Oh, man.
Oh,
and that
whoa.
is a
and
my
and that's it,
gosh.
folks.
Oh
that
my
is
God.
spoiled the podcast.
Yep.
That's all we gotta do.
I was watching it. I'm like, how am I going to get Shrek into this?
Oh, man. It's
I'm
an
watching him.
immediate.
I'm watching him get his mustache ripped off, and I'm like, I've seen this before. It is Puss in Boots.
Yeah, that's great.
So we got that out of the way.
Thank God.
Yeah. But real quick, let's start at the nasty beginning of this disgusting film.
It's, the beginning is,
Oh,
I think, one of the best parts.
So we see lovable Bill Paxton, rest in peace.
What is this opening? Oh,
He's
I
wearing a
forgot.
hat. He's a cowboy, a carnival owner,
Yeah.
going, "Come on down, come on, the juggler." The juggler, the president's daughter, who I think is Cindy Lou Who from The Grinch.
Definitely the Cindy Lou Who.
Absolutely.
That's
what-
I
when I saw
hadn't
her.
thought
She
of
is.
that. That's
She
a
is.
very
Can
good
we get
point.
a confirmation?
Yep. We've got researchers.
We got researchers, yeah. We got some interns in the back. They're going to look that up. So I said, Cindy Lou Who, president's daughter. We're getting crazy here. And one of my notes was, it's just filmed so weird, right? Like the camera's so close, and there's green screen, and then
So much green
PlayStation
screen.
1 graphics.
Yeah, it was
It's just-
horribly.
Oh, yeah.
Low res. It was, God, I was cringing. My head was in my hands half of the fucking movie. I was just like, oh, Lord, what am I doing?
But when they
Yeah.
start scaling the juggler, like,
Oh,
you know, so
don't
the
even get me
president's daughter
started on
climbs
that.
it. She hacks it somehow.
Oh, yeah, she hacks it.
And then, she
It was so easy to hack it.
And then-
she took out a key
Yeah.
and hit a button.
she hacks it, and then she slacks it. She, like, walks across the fucking thing, and then gets...
The
she's-
juggler.
Yeah. And then she's on the top of the juggler thing, and then the spy kid, you know, the FBI calls the spy kids to come.
The OSS.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's the OSS.
It calls, whatever.
And they have to bring kids into this because
Because they-
only kids could go on the ride without it breaking or something
right.
like that.
'Cause they
So
don't
they
weigh a
needed
lot.
small people.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep.
And
Totally
they,
makes
and
sense.
they give them the cool futuristic spider finger gloves where they're climbing up the wall with the spider finger gloves, and it's just like the worst acting and CGI combination ever.
It's
It
pretty.
is-
Yeah. That's that. It is pretty legendary. In
I
that
don't
way.
feel the same nostalgia as you, Dak,
Oh, man.
or you, Earthworm,
No, this
of
wouldn't.
liking it, because I think this movie was beyond redeemable.
This was. Yeah. This part has not hooked me at this far. At this part of the movie, I am not hooked yet.
No,
One of the worst watching experiences of my life.
It's gonna be a long.
I was
podcast.
so happy when this ended. I was like, I made it. Finally, get back to my my life. Right? It
On the
was
upside-
horrible.
We've only just begun this, so
Oh!
we have to go through the entire movie.
I don't want to.
I like how we Salad Brain Productions are ripping on bad CGI and bad green screen.
Yeah, I will say
Yeah.
it. Watching this felt a little bit like we're inspired by Spy
Yeah.
Kids too.
Yeah,
Just a
you know
hair.
what?
Oh,
say
there
that.
is subliminal inspiration
Yeah.
in there for sure from Spy Kids.
There absolutely
But,
is. We
yeah.
all grew up with it. It is
Oh, absolutely.
weird. It is on a green screen in fantastical worlds. That screams Salad Brain. Oh my God, Robert Rodriguez, get him in here. Call him up.
He's gonna love our shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh. By the way, we got the information back from our researchers. She is Cindy Lou
Ah.
Who.
Wow, I already.
Bing, 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 bing.
All
Winner,
right.
winner, chicken dinner.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send the researchers back now. Are we all done?
Yeah,
Well,
we're done.
speaking of like crazy cameos and shit like that, what about Cheech from Cheech and Chong?
Oh, I know.
I completely forgot that he was in.
Yeah.
in this
Uncle
whole
Felix.
franchise.
Uncle,
But,
name
yeah.
was-
He's not their
Not
uncle.
their uncle.
Yeah.
God.
He's not their
Felix.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Well,
I
I
mean,
think
I
they
have
call
no
it-
memory of him being in it.
Yeah.
Well, he turns out to be the little asshole at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
On the beach. Don't trust Felix.
You're
Right.
preying right now. We're getting
Preying
ahead of
hard.
ourselves.
Preying hard.
Yeah, that's
Can't
cool,
believe
Jet.
I said
You could also call it Prian when you talk about the first film as well. I think that also.
I like
Thumbs?
that.
Yeah. You're kind of
Oh,
just.
yes.
Wait,
I was gonna reference-
We're preing when we're talking too much about the first film.
I was going to reference it, but
okay.
we'll stick to the second.
Talk about Floop.
Yeah.
Talk about
Yes.
Floop too much. We're
Yeah.
praying.
Yeah.
Copy.
Think in context of this film.
Thumbs.
The four heads.
Oh,
Weird.
yeah.
Weird. Just in this film, very strange.
Yeah.
You mean the guy with 4 heads?
Yes.
Yeah. That was awful.
Yeah.
Like, why? Who
Tony Shalhoub.
who okayed that? That was like the
Robert
worst.
Rodriguez, probably the
Yeah.
art director of this movie. I honestly think he was. I think we were.
Probably. He
I
was
was
a
watching-
lot of things.
Yeah, this was his passion project, perhaps.
Ew.
I just want to get to the point where we see the Magnet Men.
Oh,
in
that's
the
early.
ball-
That's
yeah,
early.
The ballroom.
Wait. So at this point, have they haven't been fired yet? That actually
No,
comes
this
after
happens
this.
after, 'cause
This
they
is what
blame-
changes
Yeah.
everything.
They blame
Yeah.
Junie for
I
that.
see.
after.
Which I don't understand.
No, it's plot point.
I don't understand that plot
Everybody,
point.
everybody
Why did
drinks
they
the champagne.
blame-
Yeah, so let's fill people
because
in who haven't seen the
because
movie.
he's
So-
beating up,
yeah, because
because
this
he's
is
beating up the guy. He's beating up the blonde kid, isn't he? When everyone wakes up, or he's like got him in a headlock.
Yeah, so it's his fault. That
Well, it's like
the idea is
yeah,
that
I guess
he
you're
wasn't
right.
defending it, but no one else was.
It's
President
Jim's
was
fault.
poisoned.
I just love the line
I can't wait
after
for
he gets
people-
fired when like he's eating cereal at the table and he's like, the sister sits down and he's like, I was fired. And she's like, I know. I hacked into the ISS data files and saw the news. It's just like the stupidest, like...
Exactly. This is my point. I love how you guys try to find a redeemable quality about this film, but you look into it and it's god awful.
There's
It's
a,
horrible.
and they're constantly trying to work in, like, just ridiculous gadgets. Like,
No,
every
ridiculous
other scene...
gadgets, jokes, CG.
Yeah.
It's bad, man. It is.
I
Horrible.
thought that I enjoyed
I
this
enjoyed it.
experience
So did I.
more than Shanghai Nights.
So did I. I agree.
It's
I like this
sacrilegious.
movie, maybe because of
Sorry.
nostalgia, but I don't know. I thoroughly.
There was something I really like. There were plenty of moments that it was really bad.
yeah, it was so.
It was so bad, and I begged for it to end.
Yeah.
I agree.
But there were so many times that I was like, "That's weird. I like that.
Yeah.
That surprised me. That was strange." And it even had, I appreciated it, and maybe it was just for budgetary reasons, but it kind of had a Jason and the Argonauts feel. And for those that don't know Jason and the Argonauts, it's a very old film where the monsters are stop motion. And in that, they actually copy a scene very closely in Spy Kids 2 from Jason and the Argonauts, which is him fighting skeletons. And so this was
Oh,
an old
yeah.
film where they animated skeletons to fight a warrior, and it was really cool. And because it's stop motion, it has that a different frame rate. And it kind of felt like this, all of the CGI monsters at the very least, all had a lower frame rate. And so it had a stop motion feel, even though it very clearly wasn't.
And
right.
I hope that was intentional.
Of course,
I
I
think
mean,
it was.
you're saying
2002.
you're saying that it's purely
Something-
budgetary. You think?
I
That's
think
why.
this movie's a piece of ass. And
Like
I'm
a
not,
hot piece of ass? Or...
no, like a gross piece of ass.
I think we.
I can't wait for the next beautiful way you will say that exact same statement.
I agree. I don't think I've thoroughly understood how you feel about this movie just yet.
Well, let's keep going because there
There are more words.
In,
Yeah, there
in
are.
a small way, I do love it because I did see it in theaters, and I remembered just like Shanghai Nights. Each scene, I was like, "Oh my god, that's right! Whoa, that's right! Oh my god, that's right!" Like it actually brought that back, which I did enjoy it in a way.
That's right. You heard
Look
it.
at him! Look at
Everyone
him!
heard
Look at him! He can't even hold it in. Here comes the fire, folks.
Yeah, here it
But it's so shitty, just the way it's made. But also, I think it's a joke film, and Robert Rodriguez was just like, "Here, we're gonna make this," and then he hired these big name actors and was like, "We're just gonna have fun today. We're just gonna have fun."
Big name actors.
Big name
Antonio
actor.
Banderas.
Okay,
And
that's
Steve
Steve
Buscemi.
Buscemi.
That's it.
Yeah,
And
but
So I
that's
guess
it.
I guess he's not wrong in saying
No.
actors. That is plural.
Yeah. Okay.
This is
What
true.
about the president?
Oh,
I don't know
yes.
his name.
Oh man, I forgot his name, but he was in Flubber. He is in
Yeah.
Requiem for a Dream.
Happy Gilmore.
He is in Happy Gilmore.
Juice It by Sarah?
Yeah.
What does he say in
yeah,
that movie?
Yeah.
Juice by Sarah.
Is it Juice by? You're talking about Requiem for a
Yeah.
Dream.
That's what
Yeah,
he says.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but he is like chanting up the crowd and. Yeah.
No, I love him, and when I saw him, I'm like, oh, more of him.
I like Bill Paxton as an actor, but
Yeah.
not necessarily in the. I mean, yeah, he did a good Texan, but maybe I just didn't like the the Bill Paxton character.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
And they bring him in back at the end. He just sandwiches this film.
Oh.
Yeah, he really does.
He's like Jeff Goldblum in Fallen Kingdom, Jurassic World.
Yeah.
He's just right there,
No,
right
no,
at the end.
no spoilers.
No spoilers in that movie. Don't watch that one. That was horrible.
That is a sequel.
Can we get some
Oh, yeah. Go watch that.
Can we jump to the island?
Let's jump to the island.
Oh, well, I want to talk about the Transmuku.
Yeah.
Okay, let's understand why we need to go through the island.
Oh, God. Okay, yeah. That's
Okay,
awful.
so a magnet ship shows up at the ball, sucks up the waiters. Okay, if you think it's weird already, just wait. Sucks up the waiters.
Who are wearing magnets on their heads.
Yeah.
Like they don't just suck them up like War of the Worlds style, like with a tube. No, it is a magnet ship. To be totally weird and out there, a magnet ship that picks up magnet-headed waiters
Minions. Yeah.
that are trying to feed champagne to children.
Yeah, that have like no concept of social structure.
have
It's
no
like,
idea.
yeah,
They live on an island, hidden from electronics.
Yeah, but
they
they're
don't.
people.
They don't live on the island, but they go to the island at one point.
Yeah.
Like it's so weird. Like
Yeah.
when we first see the island,
We can't jump to the island yet.
okay,
We're not
speak about the
ready.
Transmuker for God's sake. Just end it. Let's speak about the Transmuker.
Transmuker gets stolen by the Magnet Man, I think. Mm-hmm. And then
Yes.
all the adults get poisoned by the champagne. They wake up.
And
Judy-
barely poisoned, folks.
Yeah.
And they are asleep for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe 5. Enough for a fight scene.
Exactly. And then they're all eating pasta salad, I realized, which is weird. I wrote that
Antonio
down.
Banderas had a salad. A
Pasta
regular-
salad.
No, he had a regular
because
salad.
he had the leaves on his forehead. I remember that when he was brought up. So Transmuker gets taken. Whatever the
Junie
hell.
is to blame.
Junie is to blame. President gets angry, and I wrote this. He goes, "If they get hold of that Transmuker, we're doomed. We're doomed." Which
And then
thought
I
was
think
great.
he was dragged off.
he was dragged out.
Yeah.
And then I wrote, "This whole movie looks like a PlayStation 1 game." Because it does.
And that was something I felt. I was like, I want to play this PlayStation 1 game.
Wow, that would be fun.
There was like
That would
on
be
the island, I was kind of like, I kind of want to play this game a
Yeah.
little bit. When they're riding on the monsters.
Yeah.
I feel like
Or
I'd
the
enjoy
magnets.
it more.
Yeah.
I'd enjoy it more.
Yeah,
as
there was a
game.
great scene
there?
where they're kind of going through the Grand Canyon and then they somehow
Yeah.
drop into a jungle.
Yeah.
Didn't make a lot of sense to me.
And
there was a
survive
game.
unscathed.
I feel like if there was a game, it was a Game Boy game.
Right.
Like
yeah.
a Game Boy
Which
Advance
is
game.
very fitting
Yes.
to that time.
In 2002?
Oh yeah.
But I mean, like movie made games.
Oh, yeah.
Movie
Like
license.
like B movies. B movie? Is this a B movie? Maybe not, because it actually was successful at the box office.
Yeah, I wouldn't call this a B movie.
Because the first one didn't.
Bring us to the island for God's sake.
Okay, we're going to the island now. So they go to their tree house. They have a helipad there. They're hanging out. They get in those crazy seats that lift up and close. And we have Ralph, the spider, flying through the hallways, taking videos of shit. And then they meet, or they hear about, what was his name? Bannigan? Giggles? Was the
You're
villain's
talking
name?
about the father?
Yeah, who's giving the briefing to the two kids.
Yeah.
Saying, you gotta go to this island, you gotta do this.
What is that mission called?
Kuda?
No. It was something different.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh man, the
Cicada.
I wanted that.
Yakatu
assignment.
mission.
Cicada?
No.
Cicada?
Cicada. It was
Cicada.
something like that.
Cicada?
No, it wasn't Cicada. It was more like Cicada.
Cicada.
It ended with
Cicada.
Aada.
Yeah.
I did watch it this morning, so
Yeah.
I should know. So we have Carmen Cortez, the sister. She hacks in. She changes the
Yeah. Reinstates both of them.
Yeah. So she's like, "Oh, here's your new level 2
yeah,
car."
In a matter of
level 1 car.
seconds.
So now they have the mission. They meet Danny Trejo, who just 3 days ago saved a baby from an overturned car.
He's a hero.
Yeah.
Machete.
There was a big
Like
accident.
his character? Or
No,
like,
no,
real
in
life,
real life.
Danny Trejo saw a baby in an overturned car and saved its life
Like 3 days ago from this moment?
today.
Wow, that's a fact.
The-
That's a rant. Wow.
So we are dating ourselves, folks, right now. So
day.
do the math.
Yeah.
What day are we recording this?
Yes. And DM us, and you will win a
And you
lock
can win-
of Dak's hair.
You're not cutting my hair.
Oh, we are cutting your hair.
Okay.
You need a haircut.
Call in now.
He's a hero.
Dak, do you think you need a haircut?
I'm never cutting my hair.
Then we find out Machete, Danny Trejo, who was in the
yeah.
Machete films.
Directed by Robert Rodriguez.
Yep, so he's in there. He gives him the Machete elastic wand.
Which they
Wonder.
throw in
Wonder.
the name Machete. They have to throw in Machete.
Of course
in
they do.
there,
And I
of
wrote
course.
called back to old film.
Yeah.
Then they go down to the ship deck. They meet Cheech again, who gives them the Dragonfly ship. I wrote stupid water ship because
It's
it's
a
Very-
dragonfly.
Yeah, it looked
Yeah,
just
Dragonfly.
like, or at least very similar to the Stingray-like ship in Phantom Menace.
Oh.
To talk more about the influences, the big glass eyes
yeah.
on it,
Yeah.
very similar ship style.
They're underwater.
Yep.
There's
The
always
only
a
thing
big
that didn't
fish.
happen, well, at a certain point, the sea monsters come, but they
Yeah.
weren't like attacked by anything really.
No, yeah.
And then we get. I'm not sure. I forgot how this happened, but we get a callback to Flugel.
Floop.
Floop's Flugel.
They call.
They call no. That's earlier on. They call him
Flugel's
before they leave for the mission. They're at their treehouse and they're like hacking in. They've used what's that little spider thing to
Ralph.
and they hear things and they call Floop. Then they're like, oh, like we need some information on some old stuff. Oh no, they were in the no. This is
Yeah,
underwater.
they're in
the
They need
water
some
thing,
yeah. They call him because they need some information on some old stuff, and he's like been in the
Right, yeah,
worked
they
with
call it
that.
the Floop, and he sings that weird ass fucking song.
Who,
What?
Where, when, and why? I still,
That's my
as soon as that
favorite.
came
Oh,
on,
yeah,
I was like,
dude.
that's how I remembered those words.
I know.
What, where, when, why.
That's hilarious.
The only word that was missing was how, but I understand why they didn't include that.
Budgetary,
Who, what, where, when, why.
budgetary constraints.
Yeah, that's great.
What, where, when, and why.
Oh, great.
Yes.
I love that.
And then they Healy off. Remember, he has the clones,
Oh.
and
Yeah.
they cruise off in their Heelys.
Oh my god, of course. This feels so much like Earthworm Headquarters, folks. I'm telling you right now, inspired by. I need to add
They just
that.
slide off camera.
It really feels like that.
Oh man. it's so
Like
funny.
these
Subliminal
clones.
inspiration.
Yeah, seriously.
The ship fails. Okay.
John Boy wants
So-
to get this
That's
over.
right. That's
And,
right.
and it,
So bad.
Yeah, and it fails for a specific reason, and that
Yeah,
is
it's-
The electromagnetic pulse of the island
Yes.
doesn't
The
allow
whole-
technology.
yes.
And the cloaking device that's built into the same thing.
But there will be a point when all of that is thrown away,
Yes.
because they will eventually find the children. And that is totally thrown away that radar, because it's
Yeah.
mentioned that radar doesn't go over it or anything
Yep.
like that. But as soon as the teeth, you can find out the
Oh,
dad
yeah.
did their dental work much later in the
Like,
film.
this movie is full of, well, this happened. We have this. This happened. We have this.
It was all very convenient.
Yes.
Extremely.
What is it? Deus Machina?
Yeah.
It's just something comes up where they're like, oh, but is he wearing his necklace? Because I've been tracking him his entire
Oh
life.
God, yeah.
It's like, what?
We haven't
well,
gotten there
what?
yet, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was definitely like the stupidest turning
It's
point.
the
It was
stupidest.
so
I've ever
bad.
seen.
Act 3.
But
There were a couple bad turning points. Let's be
anyway,
real.
they use those crazy seats to escape, or those crazy suits,
Suits
to
that
escape the
inflate
which would
completely.
absolutely kill you.
Oh
Like
my
a
God,
thousand,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
Rip your
Hands
arms out of your
down.
sockets.
No, well,
No questions asked.
your boil. Oh my god.
Your lungs would collapse.
Yeah.
As soon as you,
Oxygen
yeah.
would escape your body. Oh my god.
You go up so fast that literally you get the bends.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you're just, it's very bad.
so stupid. But
And then conveniently, they have a giant sea monster. Only pop their suits
Yeah.
a little bit to fly them to straight to shore. It was my god.
And what's crazy is like that monster just shows up one more time,
yeah.
and that's it.
That's
just
it.
to do a very similar sequence,
Yeah.
but then smells the camel poop
Yeah.
on the
Oh,
giggles
you gotta love camel poop.
oh yeah,
because they send the giggles to. This was their assignment, and they send the giggles to the Gobi Desert
Yes, the
to
Gobi.
a very strange
Where is the Gobi?
falling and poop scene.
are
It
there
is
camels in the
Africa.
Gobi Desert? No, the Gobi's in China, isn't it?
Oh my god!
There are. I don't
right.
believe there are camels in China.
Are those camels in India?
Well, that's insane. Let's fact check that. Can we get
But
the fact check,
the
boy?
Gobi's
Intern.
in northern
Researchers
China.
coming in.
Gobi's in northern China.
You're right that
Wait, how do they get there? It's landlocked.
But I don't.
That's
I
exactly
I'm
what
not-
I was just about to
I
point
know
out.
it's in China.
Yeah.
I don't know if there are camels or not. I'm not. Don't quote me on that. But I don't believe there are camels.
Asia.
Asia. China's in
Northern
Asia.
and northwestern China and southern Mongolia.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just find out if there's camels there.
I just want to know if there are camels in the Gobi Desert.
Okay, let's move on while he's looking.
Okay,
on the
so
research factor boy.
I said big sea serpents pop the floaties.
Yeah.
They get shot. They get shot to the beach. They try to build a shelter. They realize there's no electronics. You can't use anything.
Right. Which was
Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah,
Of
and
course,
then
perfect.
they
Why
wander,
not?
and then they wander, right, and they find to a volcano.
Right. Yeah. So they see a volcano in the distance, and Carmen's like, "Let's go up there."
Well,
And
the
then-
reason they do is because they're being chased by something.
Right.
They see a magnet man fly over, and they're like, "Why is he going to the volcano?" And
By the way, research came back inconclusive.
unknown. Answer unknown.
Sorry, I was told we do not pay them enough.
Well, we know it's in China and
We know
Mongolia.
Gobi Desert,
That sucks.
and that there were at least
simple.
camels in this film.
All right, yeah.
Sorry.
So they jump down the
They fall. They
they
fall down a
down
volcano.
the volcano, and,
for
then,
4 hours.
For 4 hours.
and then you see Carmen kind of like leaning, being like, What's
Yeah,
up?
they're laying
And-
down in the air.
And this is the start of the worst joke in the whole film, which is he tries to eat a bar of food the whole movie.
Right.
And
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
I'm hungry. And then every time he goes to take a bite, something in the film happens.
Of course.
And it is definitely one I did not laugh at once.
Not once.
And
I didn't laugh
mean,
at all.
at least they did something with it at the end, which is it makes him friends with the monster that's chasing him.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That's what all this leads up to.
Yeah, and
And at different points, he's like, I'm a little hungry.
yeah, and I do have the flavor of that bar, but that will come later when Junie actually says it to the spider monkey.
Oh yeah, I remember what it is actually. Anyway, so yeah, they're falling for 4 hours, right?
4 hours.
4 hours.
Right. But not really, because it's an
It's an illusion.
illusion.
Yes,
That's
it's an
right.
illusion that they can
Because
never
when they meet
see.
Steve Buscemi,
Yeah.
he tells them it was all an illusion.
And it's just a mini volcano with an
Yes.
air blower that was just suspending them into air.
And
for
then-
It's
4
all
hours.
horse shit.
And
This
then he
whole
tells
movie's
them
horseshit.
he tells them about his genetic okay.
The island is called Leaky Leaky Island.
Yes,
Oh.
that's right. That's
It's like,
right.
welcome to Leaky Leaky Island.
Meant to be a joke.
Probably failed.
Fuck.
Fuck.
And then he
this
tells
movie.
Yeah.
then he tells them about his genetically modified
Yeah.
Animals.
The zoo.
Yeah,
Romero Zoo.
Which, by the way, when I was a child and I saw this, did anyone else just absolutely want this more than
Absolutely.
anything?
Yes.
Oh my god! Still to this day, when I watch this, I was like, I'd still fucking love a miniature zoo.
How far off do you think it actually is?
Oh man, great
30
question.
years. 30 years we have miniature animals.
30
I mean, it'll
years.
never be ethical. It'll never be
It'll-
ethical. But
No, I
how
want-
far off do you think like the science is to where
30
it is
years.
I
possible?
bet you it's not that
Miniature
far off.
animals, they can't even clone a prehistoric animal in a modern animal. Like, they can't, like, make an elephant give birth to a mammoth, or,
Like,
like,
sheep.
Wow, that is a crazy thought I've never thought of. They're trying to get an elephant to give birth to
yeah,
a mammoth?
they absolutely are.
Oh
And
my
there
gosh.
and there are extinct animals they're trying to get back into the wild by
the same
having
thing.
their DNA. They know they're about to go extinct, so they take their DNA and then they put it into an embryo, and then they get that thing to bloop 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 beep 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 load up, and
up.
then
This is Jurassic
like
Park.
a video game. It's loading.
Oh.
Inside of uterus. I don't know if you guys haven't gotten the talk, have you? You don't know how this works.
The birds and the bees.
Yeah, so let me simplify it. The swan comes in with a baby goat that is extinct, but it is deformed because the mama goat was not its actual mother. It's very complicated for our science only podcast that will be coming out.
Tune in for the full-
2022.
We need
Yeah.
we need some interns to fact check this because I don't believe it at all. We got Leaky Leaky Island.
Leaky with the miniature zoo. Oh man.
Yeah.
Romero, his name's Romero, so we can call Steve Buscemi by his character name, Romero. Please, it's respectful. And then he makes a zoo called Zoo 2, T-O-O,
Oh yes.
where he starts to do a little mixy. A little Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, actually. on this
Yeah.
bitch.
Right.
We got the horsefly.
Well,
Horsefly,
it's-
We got the
yeah.
Catfish,
catfish. That's a good one that walked up.
Bullfrog,
The slizzard.
Slizzard. Ooh,
Get
comes in clutch.
slizzard.
Yeah, dude.
And the spider monkey.
The flying pig.
Oh yeah.
What do they call that?
A
No, they didn't call it
They didn't
anything.
call it anything.
She
Pretty
calls
sure
it
they said
something.
They never.
like a
They
spork.
they never
No, man,
did.
they do.
It
do.
was a spork. You're right.
Spork?
Carmen calls it when
When
she
is
throws the transmooker at
it
the
up.
end and the spork flies by and catches
Okay,
it.
but
She
why
says
is it called
what?
a spork?
I don't know.
Like
but
a swan and a pig? A stork and a pig!
yeah, stork and a pig. Yeah,
Oh.
Whoa.
we
It's
just
not-
high fived. Bad for podcast.
It's not. It's not. No. Isn't it? Oh, I guess it could also be a stork and pork, as well.
That's what I thought it was.
But it is a spork, and she does call it that.
Yeah.
Just at the end, because
Just at
I
the
remember he doesn't call it
No,
anything.
he does not.
Okay, because I was kind of curious. I was like, oh, it's just a flying.
And
pig.
then we see that he gets a little kerfuffled, and then he spills growth serum into his zoo too, which causes all of his animals to, or whatever the fuck you want to call them, he causes them to grow to immense size,
Right.
go crazy. He's afraid of them. He thinks they're gonna kill him. Little does he know, they just love him.
And the classic quote.
Oh my
way.
gosh.
I,
So
I
deep.
wrote it down.
Yeah,
Do you have
I
it?
wrote it down too, but you may read it.
Okay. And so he's going in like a really deep soliloquy. And he goes, "Do you think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he created?"
I thought that was a pretty good line.
It is a great
It was
line.
Deep as
I
amazing.
thought it was pretty
Yeah.
good. It was definitely the best line in the whole film. It's when I knew this movie was more than just shit.
But,
Yes,
but
that's why I know it's not a joke.
But no, not even a joke. But I think Robert Rodriguez knew what he was making. That's why when I say a joke, it's not
I
like
agree.
he just threw it out of his ass and was like, "Fuck it." He knew. He's like, "I'm making this movie. I have terrible CGI. I have all this. I'm just gonna add Antonio Banderas, who he has added in his films prior. You know, he's gonna put Steve Buscemi in it, and just there is a deep level to this, but the entire movie itself is a fucking joke."
But maybe he made it
But
for us.
no, he did.
You know, maybe he made it for this moment right now.
It's deeper.
I agree.
It's deeper
He
than we
definitely
think.
did.
Yeah.
It all led to this,
This moment.
obviously.
But anyway, I feel like I watched that quote recently. Like, I don't remember how it came about, but it was like maybe a meme or a GIF.
Yeah, someone
a
recently.
GIF, I should say. So I don't
Yeah,
get
it was
grilled by
going
people.
around recently.
I
Yeah.
can't remember
It's a
what
GIF.
it was on. Yeah,
never saw
I
it.
call
But-
it a GIF for sure too.
I'm
No.
giving. I'm giving.
Yeah, let's do it. We just high fived,
and
and
it
it
was
was not
really bad.
good.
So then we find out that the mini island he created is some sort of surveillance system.
Oh, I love this. Yeah.
Oh, I
So
hate
I don't
this.
even know. He tried to explain this, but he dumps the tiny animals on the volcano, which propelled the two kids for hours above his little scientific. Anyway, so he dumps the little animals on there, and they go to the exact locations that the other animals and the real animals on the
'Cause they're
island are.
connected.
How does that even make sense?
He said
He
'cause they're
said
connected.
something about gravity. I'm telling you, he used the word gravity when he described it.
course he
And
did.
I was like, "Woo." It was like some sort of gravitational blah, blah, blah.
No, that doesn't make.
I
any
heard
sense.
that he said that the smaller animals are connected to the bigger animals. Who gives a fuck? Once again, it's a movie of convenience. Things just happen because they happen.
When you think about it like that, though, does that mean that Junie, when he gets the spider monkey at the end, it's actually still controlled by
Yes,
the big ass
absolutely,
monkey?
100%. Absolutely.
So that
That's
monkey
probably-
won't even like talk to him or anything. It'll just be feeding.
It's gonna
like
like
it is on the
yeah,
island?
roam around.
Did
Yeah.
it die though?
No, it
No,
didn't.
at the end.
It's
He was there.
it's so.
It got smashed by the pillar.
But
Yeah.
then came back.
Jumping ahead.
But then came back and then got its ass beat by the little girl.
Oh, that's right. She did the fucking.
Yeah, she
roll
lifted
the
up her sleeves and beat its ass to save
but-
her brother.
Right, but they never showed that.
Nope.
Right?
They don't.
They
It's just
show her roll up her
assumed.
sleeves. Which that little girl we haven't even thrown
Gertie.
a shout out to.
Oh my
Dirty
god.
Giggles. From
Emily
Hannah Montana
Osment.
fame.
Emily Osment, come on.
We haven't even thrown any spotlight to the other main lead,
Right. What? Carmen?
Carmen.
Or that-
we haven't talked
yeah.
about her at all.
All I
because
know
it
is that
kind of
she-
feels like she
She's not-
didn't move the plot in any way.
She doesn't. And,
Yeah.
Doesn't.
yeah, and you know,
It's all about Junie.
It is a lot about Junie.
Should be called Spy Kids 2 Junie.
Oh. Ooh.
Went so well? Okay.
Junie's
Sorry.
story.
Island of Lost Dreams.
Spy
Is that
Kids
better?
2,
Yeah.
Island of Lost Junie.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
he is. Because in this film, he's trying to find himself. He was
Yeah,
fired
that's
from
true.
OSS. He wants to come back. No one's going to give him that chance.
I doubt it.
God awful. Gertie steals a book from Romero's laboratory. So she steals a book that comes in later when she wants to hack the transmuker. No, we did not jump ahead.
I think what was the brother's name? Not Junie, the blonde kid.
I didn't really give a fuck. I actually hated
Gary?
that dude so
I think
much.
it's Gary.
I think
or
it
something.
might
Yeah,
Probably
it was.
Gary.
Gary.
Laugh,
Gary and Gertie.
His laugh was the stupidest
Oh,
gag.
yeah,
that
that
was
was
the
bad.
stupidest gag. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
But-
great. Oh, you know, one of my favorite parts is when they're hacking in like that ship. They're hacking into like their profiles, and he needs the password. Junie needs the password.
That's right.
And his voice changes. He goes, Gary Gertie.
Oh yeah.
And he goes,
Gary
access
Giggles.
denied. And then he goes,
And that's the fucking voice
it
thing.
fucking works.
The sign.
Oh man, that was the funniest shit.
That's a really this film is really hard.
And there, you know, amongst all of the shit that this film has, because it is a lot of bullshit, there are some hidden gems, hidden funny parts that I did laugh out loud for. Like I really did.
Name one.
Well, yeah. Let's hear one.
That giggle when
Okay.
that bastard happened when he got that. I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
We're at the parents are finding out that their kids are missing.
Yeah.
So now they
This is just like the most calm reaction.
they're like
Ever.
"Fuck it, well, we
I
better find
know.
them."
And then we'll just like speed through the scene, so they decide to go and find them, of course, and then the boss, what is it?
Donegan giggles.
Yeah, the giggles
Giggles.
man is like, no, I'll go find them, and they're like, no, we have to do it, blah blah blah. They get in their ship, and then, or actually, right as they're getting in their ship, he's like, but your mother's in town or whatever, and so like the in-laws are in town for
A family reunion.
yeah, exactly, for the perfect timing.
Of course.
They go through. They never explain. Did they just get on the ship?
No. They go to the loading dock, right? And so they get there, and they're like, "Oh no, you can't come with us. It's too dangerous." And they're like, "What? No, it's not too dangerous for us." And they go, "Listen, we're gonna be totally fine. You taught us everything we know." And they
Oh,
look
right.
back at him, and they go, "But we didn't teach you everything we know." And it's just this stupid. But they still leave without them. And then later
It shows the ship leave without them.
100%, they still leave
It
without them.
shows them
Somehow
sitting-
they
yeah.
swim.
No. Yeah,
his
and they
wheelchair.
somehow get their own ship.
He
that
does
is-
have a flying wheelchair.
Yes. Yeah. No. Okay. But talk about ridiculousness. What about Gertie Giggles and her flying fucking
her
ponytails?
pigtails.
Yeah. Oh my God. Her helicopter
No.
ponytails.
Once again, this movie is shit. Okay, it's
Oh,
not
man.
good.
But yeah, they
it's a-
leave.
It's a movie of convenience. It's a movie of convenience.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, they get on the ship. They leave without the in-laws, without the parents, and then all of a sudden the parents are there, and they're on the ship with them.
Bandera's hair goes up.
Right.
They
Remember that
crash
scene?
into their
second.
ship underwater.
Very Beetlejuice.
Oh,
throwback to Beetlejuice
yeah,
right there.
yeah.
But yeah, and so the in-laws are there, and they're like trying to track the kids, and then meanwhile it cuts to the kids having, pulled their tracking devices out of their teeth,
Which Antonio Banderas-
seems so brutal. And
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
No
love
one's crying.
I
No
love
blood.
this too. It's the most ridiculous
so
thing too.
they're ripping their teeth out with pliers and crushing them because
Good
they're also
God.
tracking devices. And then the parents are just watching their children's GPS pinpoint just disappear on the
disappear.
screen.
And they're
And they're
they're
so calm.
They're so
They're
calm.
so calm. When the girls goes away or when Junie goes away, he just like no expression, not even
Yeah.
a noise was made by him.
Damn.
Yeah, like I couldn't. Oh my gosh, I was
And,
just like,
yeah.
is that poor acting, or do you think that the producer was like, hey, I want you to be the sleekest motherfucker like you are in the rest of the movie?
No,
for
they
this
know
too?
it's a joke.
Yeah, well, they know
They know
because
they're like, fuck it.
they're copying the spies who didn't want to be found. And then the
Oh,
mom
yeah.
throws that back
The mission.
later. She's
I
like,
know.
when they find their kids
two
later
spies.
on, she's like, the spies that didn't want to be found. I
Yeah.
like that touch. Nice touch. I'm like, bitch, your child just fucking crushed her GPS tracking
they
device
could-
while she was on a desert island with fucking monsters on it.
Yeah,
The
wait,
skeleton
and-
was
and-
trying to murder
After
her.
leaving on a school night.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But they don't even know that. They just, at that point, they could have just, like, first thought, your child is dead, right? Like,
Right.
they could have just died
Yeah.
Eaten by a
or
lizard.
crushed or something.
So here's an interesting thing to think about: is that the whole idea of crushing their GPS things was to make sure their parents didn't come, right?
Because they knew they were going to die.
Yeah. but the parents end up coming anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
The plot finds a way to make it work,
The necklace.
and obviously nothing bad happened.
No.
So was that a lesson? Was there some sort of lesson
No.
in there that maybe
No.
the parents were right all along?
And I'll repeat.
we should
this
listen to our parents more?
This movie is shit.
Wow, no, that is. I think you're right. There is a hidden message in there
right.
that kids need to listen to their parents more. It would've worked out in the end.
I think so, because there's even, like, listen to your other, like,
And
listen
then-
to your parents even when you're older.
And then, yeah, the
Right.
parents then had to listen to
Because the grandparents were never wrong. Let's
No,
be real.
no.
Never, ever wrong.
No.
So the moral to the children's movie is to listen to your fucking parents.
Think about Steve Buscemi. Romero listened to Junie. Junie said, "Don't be afraid."
oh, yeah.
So we listened to him. So maybe it is about listening to your elders, but also learning.
But
Wait,
Junie,
yeah, but
Junie
Isn't it-
at least in that way, felt like he was playing an elder. In all of those scenes where he's kind of like way past his age, when he's also talking about, oh man, I've worked my life and I've worked so hard, now I'm gonna retire.
I
and
can't
shit."
wait to retire, yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously it seems like he has so much more life experience than he really has. I think the lesson is the wise ones listen to them.
If you're in
Okay.
a wheelchair, listen to him. I think that's where we're getting.
It's a flying wheelchair.
It's a fine. I
Listen to anyone in a flying wheelchair.
Oh yeah.
And
for
those,
sure.
yeah, the wings on the.
So we find out Grandpa has a tracer on the necklace.
Right.
Yes.
Which
So-
is yeah.
Of course.
Of course,
And,
convenient.
and did you think Junie knows about it? Because, like,
No.
Grandpa has a, I mean, maybe, I guess not at this point.
I don't think Junie
He's a
knows.
stupid ass, dumb ass little kid. You don't know
Junie's
shit.
what, 13? No, I don't think so.
But Junie wears it every day,
They
and he
knew
wore it on
about
this
the
mission.
teeth.
I told someone we were watching this movie, by the way, and she's like, and she told me that she's like, oh, that actor is married to Megan Trainor now.
Yes, yes, he's
That's
been in a
crazy.
few
What?
of her music videos.
Yeah.
What?
That's so weird.
That is amazing. That's amazing.
That's so funny.
Wow.
They do grow up, folks. They do. You know what's funny is that he is our age.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I
When
know.
we
Dak-
watched that
Dak
movie,
knows.
yeah.
I hung out with him for a whole day. It was
Was,
great. He
was that
no
after
less
the
kid.
first or the second movie?
It was
came
after
out?
the first. They were like back to back, right? One after the other for like.
It's
It was
like
2001 and then 2002.
1, 2, and 3 came out.
Yeah.
2001, 2002, 2003.
Yeah, it was definitely after the first movie because I knew who he was. It
Oh, wow.
might have been after he shot the second one, but maybe I hadn't seen it at that
So
point.
you met,
I don't know, but
so you met Junie post Island of Dreams.
maybe
He probably had
yeah.
shot it by that
Maybe
point.
yeah.
Wow,
I was
that's
thinking
all-
that he maybe shot it because it was that
amazing.
age where
Yeah.
we were. It was such an interesting. It was great. It was just a normal kid. It was just like, yeah, it was great. It
You
was,
guys Heeley'd around.
yeah, we did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh
forgot.
my
We had
God,
Heelys.
kill me.
Oh my gosh.
Heeley
We were-
Bros.
Oh man. Oh yeah.
There's another bad high five.
Heeley
We
Bros.
don't know how to do this
That was
yet.
great. But
Next, I have. This is where Junie meets the spider monkey,
oh man, yeah.
and I kind of liked the spider monkey as a character because I kind of felt for him, because he's just this thing is sentient. It's all fucked up, half spider, half gorilla.
Can't be
ape.
comfortable.
I think it'd be
Yeah.
worse to be a horsefly.
And it-
You saw that thing.
Oh, that was disgusting.
That was awful.
Ew. With a fly face and
Oh,
a horse
yeah.
body.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's horrible.
And it
Horrible.
but the spider monkey befriends him
Yes.
because he feeds him the candy bar, right?
And
Yes.
Let us know.
not
flavor?
Not yet. Not yet. There's a little bit.
I know the flavor.
There's a little bit that goes on after that, but the flavor was honey roasted ham and potato.
Yes.
Delicious.
That's
That's
I
what I
love
want
it.
in my energy bar.
That is so gross. But before he actually feeds it to him and tells him what it is, they go into the temple. They find
Yes.
that pit.
Oh my gosh, this is such a stupid fucking scene too. Like they get in this temple and they are thinking things that they can hear from each other, right? They hear each other's thoughts.
Right.
And then they try to speak and they can't speak. It's
But
just
they can only communicate through their
through
thoughts.
thoughts. Yeah.
Can someone inform me why did they go to this temple?
Because it's in the
That's where
map.
the
In the map that
transmuter
Romero
is?
gave them, said you have to fall into a pit to start your adventure.
And they fell in the pit and then that's where the temple
Oh
is.
yeah, it was right.
Yeah,
there.
and then they can't take anything from the temple, which is like a. When did Aladdin come out?
1992.
Oh yeah, way before this. But But then they do a throw to
Way before that.
70, no, 80.
Moving on.
81.
as
Was
Junie
the first one.
decides to take a necklace anyway, and as he's taking the necklace, he does a throw to or a nod to Lord of the Rings. He says one necklace
does.
to rule them all. And then in the ending scene, because I'm gonna blow, or in one of those ending bloopers, because I
Yeah.
watched the fucking bloopers. Of course, I fucking watched the
did you?
bloopers.
Oh.
He's like talking to the necklace, like my precious necklace.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
And this
good.
was in the midst of that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Return of the King came out in 2005, so it must have been 2002, or it must have been 2001, 3, and 5 for the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Must have been. I'm not totally sure, but obviously Gollum was inspiration for that scene.
Oh, definitely.
And so he takes the medallion, necklace, whatever the hell.
And Carmen goes, I told you not to take anything. And he goes, I didn't, I swear. And he never tells her that.
Straight up
he
lies to her
obvious-
face.
Yeah.
She's getting attacked by skeletons.
And then she
Yes.
potentially dies. And then he's like, well, I should give this necklace back. And then
Right.
he
Yeah,
takes it.
give
He
then
just
he
gives it
out.
back,
Just gives it
and
back.
they just walk away.
I know, right? Wouldn't your first thought to be like throw it and have them chase it or
Yeah.
something? Oh, man. Yeah.
He goes, "I'm sorry."
yeah.
He hands it back, and he calmly says, "I'm sorry."
Gently.
Does
yeah.
anybody have any questions? How is it the spork? Is that the
Yeah.
Yeah.
How the spork
Picks her up? Oh, my gosh. It has hooves!
Hooves!
I
doesn't
did not
make-
even think of that.
I
Oh
thought of
my
it the first
God.
time when I saw it grab her. I was like, "What the fuck?" It
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
yeah.
But
just picked her up with
the
a hoof.
spork picks her up and takes her to its
The
nest,
nest. Yeah.
and that's
Oh,
where
this is
Emily
so bad.
Osment is.
This is so bad. They aren't willing to jump down. Like she's
No.
like, "Oh, why don't we jump
Yes.
down?" And she's like, "No, it's high up." And then they eventually just do it.
because they
Yeah.
have parachutes.
They
Yeah.
have parachutes that they just don't use.
A spy is only as good as
That's
his
the
gadgets.
gadgets.
They don't do it until the spork comes back,
it's
or
so-
it just
Yeah.
like
It screams.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it screams probably. And then, but they have a touching moment where she talks about how she needs to like fuck over her dad because her dad's being a dickhead. And
that
then she's like, "I'm never gonna fuck over my dad," in a much less vulgar.
I think it was that bad.
Vocab.
Yeah.
She said that
It was
verbatim,
wish.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna fuck up my dad so hard.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Beat
then
his ass.
Yeah.
We cut back to Junie, and then that's when he meets, was it Gary, who comes on the Slizzard. And then
Right.
he goes, "Guess I'll just have to bust you up."
He just comes out of nowhere. Like
No.
they befriended those
Yeah, no.
lizards.
Yeah, they make a joke too, and he goes, "Oh, yours like the candy bar? Mine did too." And then he rolls up. Yeah,
I didn't
Yes,
catch
I
that.
didn't get it. I didn't get the joke when it came up. I was like, this doesn't make
It's
any sense
so
to me.
stupid. It's
Yeah.
so dumb. It's not even a joke. It's just like some
not.
little one-liner, and then he rolls up on the Slizzard.
And then they knock the pill. He knocks the pillar onto the.
The Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
And the
Yeah.
spider gets crushed.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
totally.
Absolutely
The legs,
smashed.
yeah,
it
even-
is dead.
Yeah,
It is for sure dead.
yeah. The legs even look messed up.
Yeah.
And then Carmen comes to save him, right?
Yeah, swings
Swings on a vine.
and kicks the dude off the Slizzard.
And then the
Yeah.
classic line. She says the classic line that I remember to this day.
I haven't done it.
Oh, of course. I said it so many
Yeah.
times.
You're so full of shiitake mushrooms.
Yeah.
Well, she
oh,
said,
man.
"You're so full of shit,
Taki
Taki
mushrooms.
mushrooms."
Yeah, there was a.
And as a kid, it's like, "Ooh, got him."
yeah.
Ooh, I'm using that one.
Yeah.
Put it in my pocketbook.
But a
Mom,
good
you're
note.
such shit. Taki mushrooms.
Yeah.
And then you get slapped.
Yeah. A good note.
No
So,
play for you.
the reason she says that is because, she's so in love with him the whole movie. Obviously, she's trying to hide it, right? And then he, on the Slizzard, looks at Junie and says, "I wish your sister was here to see this, or she could cheer me on."
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, that's when she swings in.
She's over
And the
there.
vine,
then-
you guys probably knew this, but the vine is connected to nothing.
Oh, absolutely
It
nothing.
literally,
There's nothing around
it's
them.
just like Spider-Man. Spider-Man, there's so much of that. There's just like, he's nothing. He's
I was gonna bring that up
Yeah.
too.
It
Like,
is-
any
it-
Spider-Man movie is just swinging.
yeah, he's literally, most of the time, you'll see and you're like, wait, how? What? How? What?
Yeah.
Don't
Huh?
ruin Spider-Man.
I'm sorry.
So the helicopters are incoming. They found the transmuker when they go up to that third level of the temple, and they see it floating there
Yeah.
in those switches.
When did he mention this next part that we're getting to? Like, he mentions the rules to operating the device. Romero does.
It must have been
When
they
was
were
that?
in his
It's
laboratory,
He
right,
meant-
Only
with
time.
the Giggles when they brought them back, and he
He mentions how
I'm
to.
sure that's like that's the last time they
Must
saw
Must
him.
have been. I did not remember when I was watching. I'm like, what? There's rules to
I know, I
flipping
didn't
these
either.
switches. What?
I know.
It's convenient. It's
Yeah, I
for the
don't
plot.
remember that. Actually, yeah, I don't remember that either.
That's
Me
really
neither.
weird.
Me neither.
Very convenient. Spy
It's
Kids
very
2.
convenient.
Very convenient.
Then they pull down 2 levers, and then Donegan Giggle shows up with
Yep.
the fam and the Magnet Man.
You just hear his giggle come out.
I know.
You know he's there.
Oh
That was
God.
horrible. And then they pull the second one down, and then
The third one.
the third one, and they have Romero. They brought him in, and he goes, "If you pull that down, the entire world will shut down instantly."
Yeah. Oh, I love that. The whole world.
Of course.
It will shut down instantly.
Yep, and it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
And then everything starts shaking.
I gotta mention,
then-
I forgot to say when he is talking about his zoos, he's like, I needed a controlled environment to do my experiments, where his experiments are a tiny zoo that is concealed within a volcano on a massive island that
underground.
somehow has a switch that can shut down the entire planet. on it.
Everything.
The entire
Hey,
world.
hey, leaky
Yeah.
island. You never know what's going on there.
Back to this being just a very convenient.
Okay, so they say the whole thing will shut down instantly. They flip the switch back up. Everything's good. Transmooker is just chilling there. They want to go grab it, and then I'm not sure who throws it. Maybe Carmen.
Carmen throws it.
to the Spork.
Spork,
Yeah.
That's when
yeah.
I believe she says Spork.
Yeah.
Can we jump back just a tiny bit, because isn't there a part where they have to get all three like propped up to like hold it, right?
Oh,
and then
then
they
they get
finally use the
machete.
machete rubber band.
Oh, that's right. They have to keep
You
it
know,
together.
Elastic
keep
Wonder.
it-
Machete,
yeah.
Elastic Wonder.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm glad you brought up the rubber band because it used again.
Again,
But
it's-
we don't want to.
We'll get
yes.
there. And but they use that, and then it doesn't work, and then they eventually grab it and throw it to the spork or something, and so
Spork takes
Yeah,
it.
so
Because-
Wait, no, it did work. It shut it down, but then she took it out of the
Oh.
thing. And
Okay.
then the head of the OSS, the Giggles guy, goes up
I see.
to try and take it. Because
Right.
now everything's shut down, everything's safe.
Yeah.
But he still wants to use it.
You can use electronics.
okay, yes, okay, and
So
then
it-
she throws it.
Throws it to the Spork, and then Gertie's like, "I know where it is." And Carmen's like, "Don't do it.
Right.
Don't do it."
Fuck
But she
over your
does.
dad, bitch.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Which is in front of everyone, by
Yeah.
the way. Everyone would have seen
Right.
her mouthing those words.
So they go there.
And on the-
They realize that now the two Spy Kids, the main kids, can use their flying shoes.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Because
That's
the
right.
transmooker's shut
because-
down or whatever.
yes.
So they fly to the Spork's nest, and she flies up there,
Yes.
pulls her rubber band off, and
Yeah.
instead of just picking up the damn thing, she snaps the rubber band, and somehow it forms a perfect
Yep.
clove hitch around the thing,
And she-
which is physically impossible.
Yeah.
Like, that is something that cannot happen.
No.
But
We gotta.
Instead,
Party Bear is a not boy.
I'm a knot boy.
It's a specialist.
Yes, but
Yeah,
anyway,
how does that work?
it doesn't.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah, movie shit.
It's impossible.
Movie is shit.
And yeah, she picks it up with this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then the line, I love this line. They're flying above the nest, and they look down at him, and they go, "An agent is only as good as their
Oh, yeah.
best."
Yeah.
Burn.
And then she snaps the magical rubber band instead of the flying boots which they used
Yeah.
to get there. The pointless magic rubber band. Oh my god!
Comes back
so
later in the movie, though.
stupid.
Okay, so then we see. We cut back to Mr. Romero, Steve Buscemi himself. He is a little scared because he's alone because the Cortez children flew away.
And said later.
Later,
Romero.
And so now he is on the edge of the beach with a whole bunch of his animals coming towards him, and he's like, "Oh shit, they're about to kill me." Little does he know, they love him.
Yeah, it was
That is-
weirdly sexual.
It
I
was.
felt that scene was a very
Well, no,
sexual scene.
Buscemi is extremely sexual in this film.
Yeah,
Let's get that out of the way.
Yeah.
He loves his animals. Zoo,
two.
too. There is something going on with him and his animals
Zoo
mixing.
for you.
Yeah, mixing species. I don't know.
Speaking of zoo, documentary
Yeah.
is called Zoo about Mr. Hands. I know we all know Mr.
Oh,
Hands.
come on.
Let's.
God.
We should try and connect more things to Mr. Hands
No.
instead of Shrek.
No.
Horsefly.
Oh, no.
That's all I got.
Horsefly. Yeah, wouldn't it have been really weird to see like a human mixed with some animal, like miniature, come out of the zoo? Then you would have known, like, okay, things are getting weird.
that would have been the whole, like, the movie would have had to have been about that.
Yeah. That's
As
true.
soon as that would come out, they would have been like, whoa, 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 whoa. Who was that before?
Yeah, back to the human hybrid.
Yeah.
It's a half human, half possum right there. You gotta explain that.
Who was the person?
Can't just throw that out there.
Is there only one? Do you have an army of these little men?
Oh, we got a small one and a big one.
Yeah, right. Is there a giant skunk, half human person running around somewhere?
So we see Romero. He's getting loved on by this lizard and whatnot. And we cut back to the beach. And now we see our favorite grandpa flying in hot.
With his wheelchair.
Just like a drone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully he's controlling it himself. He flies in. They're like, they make the tent. You know, they have the tent machine, whatever the fuck. They start doing some hacking shit. Who cares? No one cares. I don't care. Definitely don't.
Yeah.
So then we see the parents come back. They all meet up. Barely talk about the horrible stuff that happened to him on this island.
I love the part when they get there, right? They have their tent set up, and then all of a sudden it collapses really
blows
quick.
away, yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, they see their grandparents, and they're like, oh no, it's you, and they're like, what? And they're like, oh, come here, they give hugs, and then they see their parents, and they're like, oh no, it's you.
Yeah.
It's just worse and worse every time. This whole movie. Is
And then, so then it pretty much, they're just like, oh, we have the transmuker, let's walk 20 feet down the beach and have the last fight
Yep.
Yeah.
of the movie. And
Magnet
then,
Men, Giggles, both children show up, still covered in shit, by the way. They're covered in shit the entire film. All still covered in shit. They do the fight where they're like, headbutt.
Oh.
They headbutt.
The worst
my-
fight scene I've ever
oh
seen in
my
my
gosh.
life.
Kick his ass.
Especially
Not-
after
not
watching
like
Shanghai
that.
Nights.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's funny too.
Disgraceful.
Yeah. It is.
You need some Jackie Chan in this movie. Seriously. I'm not watching this without Jackie Chan in it. So they fight. It's horrible. Really, really, really bad. Giggles bests Antonio Banderas. He gets the transmuker. He has Gertie Giggles Hackett because she stole the book from Romero. Why do I know these names? Get out of my head. She gives it to him. It's already hacked. He tries to kill the grandparents. Antonio Banderas,
Jumps
in
in
3
front.
frames per second, slowly passes the frame. Very slowly.
Oh my gosh, that was
Horrible.
the worst.
Either go
That's
slow
bad.
motion or do something different.
Yeah, they really
And
butchered
Robert
that.
Rodriguez is a good director. He's good. So the reason he did that, and he edited this thing as well, that's why I think he just fucked with us. I think it's a joke.
Oh,
I think
man.
he's just like, all right, I got $38 million, or whatever the hell it was, to do this. There's no way he would do... maybe I'm missing the point.
It's always possible it was intended to be different.
Yeah. Well,
mean, that's
this
always
whole
possible.
movie is very intended to be different, I think. For sure. Showdown on the beach. Donegan's plan is to wipe the Cortez family off the earth. That was what he said. He wanted to just murder the whole family.
Oh, the entire family. Yeah, that got dark.
To be the CEO, which he already is. But
Yep.
to eliminate competition, perhaps. Not totally sure there. Then Junie and Carmen use their watches to call Prius helicopters to the scene.
Yes.
And they immediately suck up the Magnet Men in a hilarious
Oh, that was.
VFX shot.
Oh
I
man.
love that shit.
Yeah.
And then we get the presidential limo flying in helicopter.
Oh, these are great. Oh yeah, this was Earthworm's favorite scene.
Yeah.
This is his favorite scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
loved
this.
it.
Yeah, this
I
is.
wish I came up with it first.
They beat you to it, man. So they're flying in, whatever the fuck. Who gives a shit what happens next? All the Secret Service comes out guarding whoever.
Yep.
The Cindy Lou Who character comes back. Same with the president. She goes up to Donegan, points to the president. Is
I
like,
love-
this guy too. Okay, arrest
Yeah.
him.
I love that. It looks at her father, and he's just like, nods his head, and she's like, "You're fired." And she's in like this mini suit and everything. It's so funny.
When I watched it, I thought she was gonna nut tap him. I really
she
did.
should have just kicked him straight in the
I
balls.
really felt
Or a punch.
That she's
she
that,
she
that
was at that height. I was like, she's gonna nail him for sure
Yeah.
because it was kind of even at that angle. I was like, here we go,
Yeah.
easy humor.
And now we're nearing the end of the film. Thank Jesus.
Yes.
And we find a Cindy.
I
Lou
hope
Who
it never
goes
ends.
To, yeah. Cindy Lou Who goes to Antonio Banderas and says, "You're the new CEO of OSS,"
Yeah.
which is just awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real with everyone. By the end of this movie, as much as I hated
Checked
this
out.
movie,
Checked out.
no, I was at a moment. I don't know if I got too high or what, but I teared up at the end.
Oh my
No way.
I
No
did.
way.
I did. I was like, this is
Dak,
so. I'm
don't
like,
admit that on the internet.
No, it's fine. This was I think
part?
it was good. There was some good. It was funny. It was like, this movie was there was like good heartfelt like cheesiness to this movie, which we don't have. I'm gonna be John Boy for a second and say we don't see this in films anymore. We don't. You don't get that.
You don't
that
see a
good
complete
cheesiness.
hurricane of shit. Like,
No, there's
just
like
resolutions.
there's rare gems.
just shitty resolution after shit. Like there were so many conflicts in the movie.
Oh yeah.
And none of them were really that important.
No.
But they had to wrap up every single one of them, and they had to do it like one after another,
Within
after
5
another,
minutes.
after another, after another, after
Yeah.
another.
Oh, it was good. It was all within 5 minutes, absolutely. But yeah, oh man. But yeah, it was good. It's good. There's moments in this movie where by the end I was like, you know what, I did like this movie.
Well, the very last shot is when they get on this flying machine
Yeah.
where Romero shows up to give Junie a little spider monkey of himself.
Oh yeah.
He's like, hey, go for it. It's
Not
all
a
yours.
spider monkey
Oh,
of himself.
For himself.
For himself.
And
clarify
which
that.
actually I did watch a highlight video of Spy Kids 3, and the spider monkey is in it.
Well,
No way.
I didn't see that one.
That's so funny.
Only in the first 30 seconds. It's just like a quick pan.
I'm looking forward to watching the next
I'm never
one.
going to watch another Spy Kids.
Did you know after they made Spy Kids 3 in 2011, they made Spy Kids 4D, and then in 2018 they made an animated series that is 2 seasons long on Netflix right now.
Whoa.
And y'all can go watch it on Netflix, not a sponsor.
Wait. Can
Yeah.
we stop and think about that for a second? Spy Kids 3D, which was before 4D, makes sense. It's in 3 dimensions.
Yeah.
So
Well,
if
you know
they
what
release
the fourth dimension is, right?
okay,
that
so
one.
how would they do the fourth? How would they
It will
incorporate a
smell.
fourth
All I
dimension?
know is I watched the trailer
How
for
on-
4D, and the premise is that it's 2 new kids, and their stepmom is Carmen, who's probably like 28.
Same actress?
Yeah. And she's probably like 28 when they filmed this, because this was in 2011.
Yeah.
I don't know how old she was when they did that, but she does not look very old at all, and not old enough to be raising like 12-year-olds. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so she's the stepmom, and she's just like giving them gadgets. That's the entire trailer, is her just
Wow.
like, and this does this, and this does this.
Oh, that's horrible.
And then at the end, she's like, you can pick anyone you want. And they're like, oh, I'm going to take this one. I'm going to take that one. She's like, but I never said I'd activate it.
Oh,
And then the
that's
trailer
the
ends.
most ridiculous.
And I'm like,
Is this
Listen,
Don't-
I
don't
already
watch it.
hated it. Yes,
This
it
is
was
on
2011.
yes.
Oh,
It's on
wow.
Netflix now.
It's on
Yeah.
Netflix.
Oh my god.
And the animated series, which is 2 seasons long, and started in 2018, which,
this.
so it could possibly still be, they could be
I doubt
making season 3 right now. But
I think
That's-
overall ratings, it's time for that.
Dak, what do you think?
It is time.
What's
Oh,
your out
okay.
of 10?
I'm glad
And
we're
would you
starting with
recommend
Yeah,
it?
you teared up.
Yeah, I did. Okay, yeah. Like I said, let me just recap. I started out with very low expectations. I started out sober. I was like, I wanted to really like remember this movie. I was like,
How Dak starts his day sober, and then that changes.
but so I started out and I was like, I loved this movie as a kid. I remember it was like, I thought I was gonna love it, and I ended up not right off the bat. Obviously, it's terrible from the beginning. Right off the bat, it's just awful. But so after fixing my sobriety, I ended up finding, like I said, those hidden gems, those really funny, cheesy moments were like pretty good every once in a while. There's some stupid, really, really stupid, funny moments. And yeah, at the end, I was like, you know what? They wrapped up everything. This is a family-friendly, good, wholesome movie. I was like, all right, I slightly enjoyed this. This was as terrible as as it was. Yeah, it overall rating, I guess. Just
Out of 10.
6. I'm gonna give it a 6. That's a pretty realistic rating, right? It's not fit. It's not a 50%.
The name is Dak. It's a realistic rating.
And okay, would I recommend? Yes, hit it up. If you've never seen it, watch it, but don't watch it sober.
Folks, I don't care what the next two people, and especially what John Boy is going to say. I don't want it to dissuade you. And even what I said earlier to dissuade you, you should watch this movie.
Thank you.
There are reasons to watch this movie. I am going to rate these films in context. Obviously, it is a sequel. It is going to be worse. Obviously, it is going to be very cookie cutter in a lot of ways because they're trying to play very safe with sequels. This movie is weird and strange and incredibly unique. And I think for that, in the context of Spoiled, and I'm not a film critic, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
Yes!
I understand your scale. I do understand your scale.
Thank you.
It was satisfactory.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm using the same scale. I will say that. But I understand your scale. I guess I'm next, and I'm talking anyway, so I may as well continue to talk.
John Boy, you can go.
I'll go.
You can proceed.
Okay, so this film, watching it was a crippling experience, I'd say. It really did hurt me. I had to stop it halfway through to just take a 4 or 5 hour break, knowing what I'd have to get back into. Thankfully, the whole island part went by pretty quick. Everything else before it was... It's a joke. The whole film's a joke. I'm going to say that again and again. It's bad. I do not recommend this film. I don't recommend the first or definitely not the third one. I don't really remember the first one. The third one's god-awful. This one's really bad. I'm going to give this one a 2.
Wow.
Because the only good part is Steve Buscemi, and even he's given shit to work with. So I'm going 2 out of 10. Do not watch it. Watch other films that he's made, because this was a cash grab. Fuck this movie.
Cool.
John Boy, out.
Out.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a 3.
Thank you.
But here's my reasoning, because I do agree with Earthworm's scale, but I when I'm judging a movie on the scale of Spoiled, I kind of want to be surprised by it, and this did not surprise me at all. Like, I kind of want to watch a sequel that, like, I was like, oh wow, like, that was not as bad as I thought it was. And this movie was exactly as bad as I thought it was going to be.
And worse.
I thought it would be worse.
Given was not the worst movie ever made. It's not the worst thing I've seen this year.
Oh, wow.
So I hate to break it to John Boy and Party Bear. It's only going to get worse from here.
Yeah.
But give me a real movie, though. This wasn't a real movie.
You're not going to get real movies.
This was Robert Rodriguez with a handy cam being like, well, fuck it. I got $30 million. Let's make
This is
this movie.
Spoiled. What do you want?
Get used to the shit.
Yeah, get used to
But
this shit.
I'm not angry that it's a bad movie. I knew it was going to be bad watching it.
I mean, you're angry you wasted your time.
No, yeah. I was...
It sucked your life
That's what I said.
away.
It was crippling. Like, it ruined my morning watching it.
Yeah.
Like, it really did ruin my morning. That's why I stopped 45 minutes in and said, I got to stop doing this. Then I went out to get lunch and called you. I was like, I don't want to continue doing this. And then I said, okay, I have to leave. I have to film this soon. I have to watch it.
Yeah, what happened after that? Tell us about your day.
Yeah.
Then I came here and then we shot this.
Wow.
But,
Obviously, you were in a better mood prior.
dude, it's bad. It's a bad movie. It didn't make me feel good. I smiled a couple times with Antonio Banderas because I think he knew what he was in.
Can we just... Who?
Antonio Banderas.
I'm just curious on... Can you say that one more time for me?
Antonio Banderas. Which one do you want? I can say it every way.
I liked it the other way better.
Banderas? Anyways, he's the best part.
Anyway, he's the best part.
Anyway.
Folks, this got an 18 out of 40.
Woohoo!
As it should.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think it... well, I guess I don't know what Party Bear. I'm forgetting. Did you recommend?
Did you recommend
Yeah, I'll recommend, because I think that it's, like I said, it's subliminally inspirational. Like, you will watch this movie, and years later, you will still be thinking about it. I don't know if it's inspirational in a good way or a bad way. Maybe
And
it's
you're
inspirational to be
regardless.
like, wow, I never want to demote myself to that.
It gets
But-
you thinking regardless, though.
Yeah.
Sounds like an 18 out of 40 to me.
There you go.
Folks, that's Spoiled. My name is Earthworm.
I am Party Bear.
I'm John Boy.
And I'm Dak.
And thank you so much for listening.